Guys, this is Kimberly with Mezzo Makeover, back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video using some uh, new e.l.f. products, and they're not necessarily new, they're just new to me. I had to take a little break last week. I went out of town, so I missed the video. So I've had these products for a while. As a matter of fact, some of them I've already been using. So I wanted to go ahead and show my application and talk about how I feel about these products in this video. I've already done my brows, and I have cleaned them up and based my eyes already, and I'm using, as usual, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now today I had been using the actually I had been using the L'Oreal Infallible concealer to clean up my brows, but I decided to try one of the concealers that I had for a while and just hadn't used, and that was the shade that I hadn't used. And again, that's the Hydrating Camo Concealer, but I used it in the Deep Caramel. And I found that it did kind of, it worked a little bit for me. I think it was a little bit, the shade was a little off, so I mixed it with the Deep Chestnut, the Hydrating Camo Concealer in Deep Chestnut, and the shade came out a little bit better. It's still a little orangey, but it's not bad. I can deal with it. So I've already moisturized my skin, and I have put on sunscreen. It may look like I have a little cast, but that's because I've used the Neutrogena sunscreen that I was using before I got the Super Goop one. Um, and I tend to use that one on the weekends anyway. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and prime my skin. And I had used before this primer from e.l.f. just in a different, I guess a different scent that I had used before, the Mint Melt e.l.f. concealer. And so today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Jellypop Dew Primer. I didn't mean to say concealer, I meant primer. The Mint Melt cooling primer. And I had used it in a video where I compared it, and I know it's hard to see because my lights are really bright. I had used it in a video where I compared it to the Milk Hydrating Primer. I'll link the video somewhere in here, and I'll put it down below. But today, again, I'm going to be trying the e.l.f. Jellypop Dew Primer. And the reason I'm going to be trying this today is because I'm also going to be using the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I recently purchased that. Like I said, I have already used it. I do really like it, but I'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. So I wanted to use this because I am using a powder foundation, and I don't want my face to look dry or cakey. So we're gonna just go ahead and roll right into this video, and I'll mention the some of the products that I have used that are new to me. They may not be new, but they are new to me, and I have tried to use only e.l.f. products in this video. There are a couple of products that are not e.l.f. that I'm using, and they will be all of the products will be listed below as usual. But I tried to stick mainly to the products from e.l.f. that I have. So for my brows are not using e.l.f. products except the concealer that I use to clean them up. But I have been using this e.l.f. Enhancing Lash and Brow Serum on my brows. I have not tried it on my lashes, but I have been using it on my brows. Don't know if it's going to do anything because because I don't have brow on the end, and so I don't know if it's going to miraculously cause some brows to start growing there again. But if it does, I'll let you guys know. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go in with this primer. I'm just going to squirt a little bit, about a squirt and a half on the back of my hand. Thought I heard something at my door. And I'm going to just go ahead and apply this. I do like the e.l.f. Mint Melt cooling primer. I hadn't used it in a while. And I'm not sure why. I think I just got stuck on a different primer. When it was cold, I was using my primer from Avon. Um, but I decided that I wanted to try something new. And because e.l.f. was having a sale, I think it was, yeah, e.l.f. was having a sale. And so I decided to go ahead and try this one too. Um, and so, yeah, so I got this one. There we go. All right. So I am going to conceal first, as usual. Usually when you are using, at least for me, and I know a lot of people, when you're using a powder foundation, if you're going to use concealer, a liquid concealer, then you want to use that liquid first. You don't want to put the concealer on top of the powder. And so, like I said, I am going to go ahead and layer, and not layer, but I'm going to mix my concealers. And so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use the deep chestnut first, because this is one that I usually use to kind of color correct. And so I'm just going to use this one first under my eyes. And the only reason that I'm spreading it out on this side is because that's how far I usually go on this side, because I have so much hyperpigmentation. And I want to do the same thing on both sides. Oh, I keep thinking that there's somebody at the door. That's the wind. Oh my gosh, the wind is really blowing out there. I think we had a, a weather warning, as a matter of fact, because it's blowing. The wind is blowing so much that I guess it can be a hazard if there's a fire. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna let that one. I'm gonna put that on, and then I'm gonna put the other one, a little bit of the other one on. This is again the deep caramel. This one is lighter. And I'm going to put this one on in the areas where I would normally highlight. Okay, now that I've applied my concealer, I'm going to let them dry down just a little bit so that I can get as much coverage as I possibly can. And to blend them out, I am going to be using my e.l.f. concealer sponge. And actually, I just thought about it. I'm going to go ahead and take some of that deep caramel and take it down the center of my nose, a little on my top lip, and a little bit on my chin, just to highlight those areas. Again, I'm doing that so that when I apply the powder, I won't be applying the liquid on top of the powder. Something else that I've been trying since I've been using this foundation powder, excuse me, is I have been using a deeper concealer to kind of bronze my skin. And so this one is, I'll have to put the shade down in the description box, or I'll put it somewhere in the frame here. But I've just been taking it right on my cheekbones. I usually don't take any up in this area, but I will. I'll take a little bit up there today. Now, this shade, it's not because of the hyperpigmentation. If you notice, you can see that it is deeper on this side, not so much on this side or on my forehead. Um, but that's okay, because once I apply the powder, you'll still be able to see where I put that. And because this particular concealer is the 16-hour Camo Concealer, I'm going to go ahead and begin blending that out. And I'm going to use the other side, the other end of my e.l.f. concealer brush, concealer sponge. I'm just taking this kind of in the shape of a C right here. And then I'm just going to blend that into my hairline here. I'm also going to take a little bit, I just thought about it, I'm also going to take a little bit on right here on my nose, just to contour my nose. And I'm gonna try not to blend it in with that other concealer that's already there. I'm just gonna take this down the side. Sorry, you can't see it. And this is something that I don't normally do. So this is kind of new to me, but I like to try new things sometimes. All right, so now that I have done that, got a little bit of that light concealer on there. So now that I've blended that out, I'm going to go back to the other side of my beauty blend of my not beauty blender of my e.l.f. concealer sponge, and I'm going to blend out those other areas where I place the concealer to highlight, starting with my chin. And I'm just going back onto the side that I used to contour and kind of cleaning that up a little bit. So now that I have applied my concealer in the places where I want to highlight and bronze, I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation powder. So when I purchased the powders, I purchased two different shades. The shades that I got were tan, I think it's 415C, and I bought tan, I think it's 410W. Yeah, tan 410W, which is a little bit lighter. So this is what tan 410W looks like. And then we have tan 415C. And this is what that one looks like. There's a drastic difference. I think they're right next to each other, but there is a drastic difference. So I will say that I have been wearing this past week the tan 415C. When I looked at them in the pans, I just felt like that one was going to be the better one for me. However, I did want to go ahead and try swatching the lighter one. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm actually going to swatch both of them on the darker part of my face because I think either one of them would work on this side. But we're going to see about this side, and that's going to really tell me which one I can use. So I'm going to take the 410 first, and I'm going to get a good amount on my finger. I'm just going to swatch it here. Okay, and if you can see that, that is the 410, the tan 410. Wipe my finger off, dry it really good. And then I'm going to swatch the other one. Get a good amount on my finger. And so like I said, I've been wearing the what is that, the 415, and I really think that that one is better. That one really, the foundation powder, number one, it blends in really well. And it looks really natural, which is something I never thought I would like. But based on what I just swatched, I really do think I did made the best choice as far as wearing the 415. So that's the one that we're going to go ahead and apply today. And so before I put anything on, I'm just going to kind of wipe those a little bit just to kind of blend that out. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this e.l.f. It's a flat e.l.f. powder brush. This is what I've been using. And I'm just going to swirl it around in the powder. And then I'm going to lightly tap it to apply, and then I'm going to blend it in. I'm going to apply a little bit more. And right here where my concealer ends is where I'm going to pat to get to blend out that line of demarcation. I really didn't know. I think the last time that I wore a foundation powder was when I wore Bare Minerals. I think I started using it right before I got married, because everything else was breaking my skin out. And so I started using that one because it was a mineral foundation and it was natural. Um, since then, I have been able to wear other foundations, um, and other products rather. And so I hadn't used one in a while. And so I did watch a couple of videos that talked specifically about using powder foundation. One in particular that I got a lot out of was the video that LJ did here on YouTube that explained the proper way to use a powder foundation, or to apply a powder foundation. She did mention that it's not good to press it into the skin, but like I said, the reason that I did that is because I found that when I tried to blend it around where my concealer was, it wasn't blending well. And so this has just worked for me. I'm not saying that this is the proper way to do it, but it has worked. It has worked for me. So that's what I'll say. So I'm just patting it in right here where that line is, just so that I can get a good blend, and then I'll swirl it to blend it out. And I'm also taking it down here like I always do. I'm gonna kind of pat it on my nose, on the sides where I didn't highlight. And now I'm gonna go to my forehead, and I'm gonna start right here where that line is, um, where I put the concealer. Again, just so I can get rid of that line of demarcation. I'm going to squeeze my brush to get this area here between my brow and my temple, since my hairline comes down so low right there. I'm going to have to squeeze the brush so I won't mess up my brow. I'll do that same thing on the other side. My hair is still wet. Got hair gel on my hand. All right, I'm going to check it out just to see if I need more coverage. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with just one more layer of the foundation. So this time I'm just going to blend it just like I did before, just to get one more layer of coverage. All right, and I think there. So I have gotten the amount of coverage that I'm comfortable with. And I think I did pretty good. So to set the areas where I have highlighted, and to set where I based my eyes, I am going to be using this e.l.f. I think it's Prime and Set uh, um powder, and I'm just going to take this little brush from e.l.f.cosmetics from that's my Ray Ray collection. Excuse me, and I'm just going to get some on my brush, and I'm just going to tap it right here on my under eye. Trying not to use too much because I don't want it to look dry. All right. So now that I have set my concealer, I'm going to, I'm actually, this is a step that I would have never thought of, but I'm glad that I watched LJ's video. I'm going to go ahead and spray my face down just with a facial mist. It's not a setting spray necessarily, and so I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Prime Focus, no, Photo Focus Cucumber 3-in-1 Primer Water, just to get rid of the powdery look and to help to that powder to kind of melt into my skin. And so I'm gonna let that go ahead and let that dry down. All right, guys. So that primer water has dried down. I have I'm going to, what do you call it? I'm baking my nose where I highlighted, and while that's on there, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face. So I'm going to go ahead and bronze. I don't have a bronzer from e.l.f. I have a cream bronzer, but because I used the concealer, I'm not going to use that today. So I'm just going to stick with my my tried and true, my Makeup Revolution Glow Splendor bronzer in medium. I'm just going to take this e.l.f. What is this called? e.l.f. pointed powder brush and bronze my skin. Even though I don't have to do a whole lot because I used that concealer. So I think that using that concealer um, really uh, helped. Oh gosh, did you see what I just did? That's okay. All right, I'm just gonna put a little up here around the perimeter of my hairline. All right. I'm also going to use the e.l.f. Highlighter. I cannot read what it says, but it is this one right here, almost like a pinky shade. And we are going to use this, what is this, a Morphe highlighter brush to highlight my face. And we're going to use an e.l.f. blush. I'll also have this listed, the shade listed down below. And the blush brush I'm using is a e.l.f.cosmetics blush brush, point right here. And this is a matte blush. I also have a couple of cream blushes. Oh my goodness, cream blushes from e.l.f. I think I'm going to use this powder brush for that. But because I've already powdered my face, I didn't want to try to use those. Um, I'll use those next time. All right. And now I'm just going to do a little bit on my eyes. I have, last year I bought a couple of the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow palettes. I got this one in Carnival, I think it is. And so I'm just going to use probably this shade right here and put this one in my inner corner. So I'm just going to take this, what is this? This fluffy blending brush And I think this is either e.l.f.cosmetics or Morphe. No, Coastal Scents or Morphe. And I'm just going to take some of that powder and just take it into my crease just to deepen up my crease. I'm not doing a whole lot. You almost can't even see it, but I'm going to try to deepen it up a little bit just so I can have some definition. I love doing eye looks like this um, that just really deepen up my crease. To me, they just bring a lot of depth to my eye. I just like how it looks. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to take this brush with nothing on it. I'm just going to blend around that. All right, there. Now, for my inner corner, I'm just going to take this really bright shade right here on this little tiny brush. I think this is a Sigma. No, not that brush. This one. And this is again, I think this is a Sigma detail shader brush. I'm just going to take some of that and put it right here on my inner corner just to brighten it up some. Usually, y'all know, usually I will put something shimmery there. Um, but I think this kind of gives it a more simple, more simple, bright uh, look. There we go. I'm also going to wipe this same brush off, and I'm going to take that same color underneath my lower lash line, just to deepen it up just a little bit. So next I'm going to apply a nude eyeliner just to kind of brighten my eyes up. I'm going to apply this nude eyeliner from L'Oreal. There we go. And I'm also going to go ahead and take this brush and wipe that bake off of my nose. I'm going to take that powder that I bronzed with and just take it along the sides of my nose just to kind of reinforce that contour there without having such a harsh line. All right, so to finish off my eyes, I am going to be using the e.l.f. Lash It Loud Mascara. I'm just going to use just a little on my top lashes because I am going to be applying false lashes. Yeah. So the lashes that I'm going to be using today are, surprise, Stacey Collection lashes in Klassy. And so I'm going to go off camera and apply these, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I finally got my lashes on. They wanted to fight back a little bit today, so it took a little longer than usual, but I got them on. They look good as usual. I love these lashes. All right, so for my lips, I do have a new product from e.l.f., a new lip gloss, and as usual, I don't know, I can't read it. Well, I got my glasses. So this is one of their plumping lip glosses. Let's see. It's called e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss, and it is in the shade Champagne Glam. And so this is what it looks like. And I'm going to line my lips first, and I'm going to be using my lip liner from the Stacey collection. It is called the Line Me Up lip liner, and it is in the shade, I think it's number 31. No, this says 10, so I could be wrong. 10, yeah. The little sticker on it says 10, but I'll look it up and put it down in the description box if I'm wrong. So it is a deep brown lip liner. So I'm just gonna. It is very thick. Smells good though, and you can feel the tingle. But it's a nice lip gloss for every day. I think I had also purchased their mint, another one of their mint melt lip glosses in, I want to say mint chocolate or something like that. This is just a sheer brown lip gloss that again I think is also very nice for every day. But this is the final look. I really like this e.l.f. Foundation powder. I really do. It gives me it doesn't give me full coverage, but it does give me, I would say, right in the middle of medium and full coverage. It gives me enough coverage where I'm comfortable wearing it. And like I said, today is not my first time trying it. I have been wearing it all week because I couldn't wait to use it. And since I didn't get to do my video last week, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and start using it. But I love it. And I even had one of my students ask me in class, Mrs. Hemingway, are you wearing makeup today? And I was like, does it look like I'm wearing makeup? And she said, no. I said, well, that's a good thing. And so it does make my skin look really natural, which is something, like I said, that I never thought that I would like. But I actually do. I'm just looking at it in the monitor and in the mirror, and I just love the way this looks. This is going to be my new go-to. It has also not only does it give me a nice natural finish, but it has also decreased the amount of time that I get ready in the morning. So it has done two things for me. Um, and so I really do like it. This is something every day that I could wear. Now for me, I believe, to me, the key to being able to wear this, well, number one, I think that they are making these and using ingredients that will make it not really like a liquid, but this foundation is not as powdery as a regular like setting powder. So the formula of this foundation makes it so that it really just melts into the skin. It really does. And I'm loving it. I am loving it. And so I'm just loving it. That's what I can say. I'm just loving it. Um, so this is going to be my go-to from now on. Now, we'll still be, of course, using other foundations in my videos and everything. But as far as me going to work or, going to do other things, and especially in the summer where it's hot and I already have or combination to oily skin, I think this is going to really work well for me in the summer, this summer, um, because it's going to allow me to be able to wear makeup more often where I don't have to worry about it melting off my face. So anyway, guys, that is it for my video. Like I said, this is the finished look. I hope you like it. Um, Go ahead and try these products. I have everything listed down below. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.